Well, last night, before today's change on tariffs, Donald Trump said the US would soon introduce major tariffs on pharmaceuticals.
We're going to tariff our pharmaceuticals, and once we do that, they're going to come rushing back into our country because we're the big market. The advantage we have over everybody is that we're the big market. So we're going to be announcing very shortly a major tariff on pharmaceuticals.
Major tariffs on pharmaceuticals very shortly. Trump didn't give any detail on what that tariff increase would be or make any specific reference to Australia. But given the US has criticised our PBS in the past, it's likely to be in the firing line. Joining us live now is Medicines Australia Chief Executive Elizabeth De Soma. Elizabeth, thank you for your time this morning. So just off the back of that, does that worry you? Do you expect our pharma to be hit? If so, in what capacity?
Well, we're certainly looking at it very closely and keeping the monitoring open on that. I mean, at the moment, we know that pharmaceuticals are exempt. We understand that the President has said that he would scrutinise pharmaceuticals, possibly under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act, which has some processes associated with it, which would require the Secretary of Commerce to investigate the impact of tariffs on pharmaceuticals on national security and supply chains. And that would take time. So it may be that the exemption will hold for some time before there is a decision on that.
OK, so it sounds like you're not too worried. Short term. Short term, but it is an uncertain time and things are changing, as you see, hourly. So would we make any concessions in the long run?
Look, the PBS is, and you alluded to it earlier, the PBS is a very important program. The Australian Commonwealth Government purchases medicines on behalf of Australians, and they are a monopsony purchaser. They have a system and a process for determining the value for money of each product, and that's called health technology assessment. And our systems and processes have not kept pace with scientific advances and technology advances. And so there is already a domestic review into the PBS to improve its processes, improve its systems, and ensure that it keeps pace with scientific advances. And I think that that's a very real opportunity for the government to demonstrate that for our Australian patients, that they want them to have access to innovation, they want them to have access to new medicines, and that they can implement those improvements.
That's the thing about, pharma. You'll know this better than me, but how much of our pharma is better than theirs? Are they going to want to make things more expensive if they really need it for health?
Well, really, because there is a government process for determining the value for money, they recognise what is the value of innovation. They compare that value to existing treatments. That process is run by government and determines the threshold on what the government is willing to pay. So, those fundamental elements of the system won't change. What needs to change is how do they value incremental innovation? How do they value those transformative changes? And are they a benefit, a net benefit?
All right, we'll see where that lands, though. Elizabeth, thank you. We'll chat again soon.